Okay, okay. This is blkwheeler32. I'm gonna first talk a little bit about my week, and then in part two, I think I'm gonna have a part two in this. I'm gonna talk about a friend of mine. Um, well, this week was a good week. It was kind of a sad one because I watched the Michael Jackson um um funeral, and it really upset me, which I was surprised about because I didn't think it would really upset me like that, but it did. So I said, okay, fine. You know, I was upset. I was upset, I guess, because he was gone and because of how much shit he was getting him. Like, how much shit he was under. Like, you know, people were so mean to him. Like the tabloids. I mean, tabloids are supposed to be mean to you because that's what they do. That's how they get their bread and butter. But I mean, it was awful. Like they were just horrendous. I mean, to the point where he moved to another country. Ladies and gentlemen, he moved to another. Do you know Michael Jackson moved to another country to get away from the tabloids? Ain't that some shit? He moved away from where he was born to get away from the tabloids. I tell you, I have never been more ashamed of not him, because I'd have moved too, of journalists or so-called journalists in my life. Never been more ashamed in my life. And and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. He moved away from everybody. Like, I don't want to deal with y'all anymore, so I'm leaving. And he had some eccentricities, yes. But everybody does. They have their little quirks. But he was hounded big time. And also, so I mean, I really was like, big deal. So he doesn't do everything the way everybody else does. Whoopee! Big damn deal. It's no big deal. So he hung around with monkeys. So he had, like, a monkey as a friend. Shit. I mean, I have a dog as a friend. You want to know why? Because the dog loves me no matter what. His chimp loved him no matter what. It did not rip him a new one when he made a mistake. It did not rip him a new one when he messed up. It wasn't judgmental. Animals aren't judgmental. So yeah, he had a lot of animals around him. They aren't judgmental. And to a certain degree, yeah. That's the same way with kids. They're not as judgmental as adults are. And that's why he probably had them around all the time. Because they weren't so judgmental. And and everybody knew he was a big kid himself. He was a big kid himself. It's amazing how people can say that they're a big kid and play video games and whatever, and it's all good. But Michael Jackson proved he was a big kid. I mean, he had slumber parties. He created Neverland because really he just wanted an amusement park, and he wanted to have kids have fun at his amusement park. Big deal. There were some things that were a little off, but like I said, and please, all the stuff that they tried to prove about him molesting children or whatever, they couldn't really prove it, which was kind of funny. Because I'm like, if these kids were actually hurt, this is a day and age where the minute it was said, boom, the hammer would be let down, driven down on Michael Jackson without even thoughts. So I think that a lot of people were faking the funk, and I think that they just wanted a piece of his money. They wanted to extort him for as much as they could, and I'm glad it didn't work. You know, but all I can say is that, like, now he's in heaven and he is okay. You know, and I'm glad for that. You know, because that man made a lot of good music and he made a lot of people happy. Whether you want to deal with that, whether people want to deal with that or not, or whatever, that's on them. But I remember all of his good songs that he wrote. My favorite, actually, I had two or three favorites. One was Thriller, because I could dance to it. I remember dancing to it when I was in I was in what, third or fourth grade, and then You Are Not Alone, because I remember that one when I was a teenager, and then Man in the Mirror. Those were my top three favorites. They were all good songs, and he was a decent human being, and I miss him. So that's all I got to say. This is part one. Part two will be coming very soon. Bye.